Hello everyone, Vanguard of Valor here, and welcome back to another episode of Banished here in the town of Xanadu. We're on 10 times speed? No, 5 times speed. So, our little civilization is growing nicely. There have been many little changes around here since we started oh so long ago. But overall, we're becoming a quite sprawling metropolis as we grow to encompass more and more of the land surrounding us. It's going to take us a while to be able to really accomplish everything we want, but we're getting there. We're already up to a pretty hefty population, and before long we'll be even bigger, so who knows what we'll be able to accomplish in the days to come. Now, our major concern right now is a lack of any ability to produce iron. We've acquired some through trade to last us until we're able to actually build the iron mine we're looking for, but that's going to take us a little while as well. So, in the meantime, we're going to have to get ready via alternative measures. So, the main one we're going to be doing here is a mine. We can build mines in the same way we build quarries. There's one option for them right here. And they do take a lot of stone to be able to start, but once you have one placed, they work in the same way as quarries do, in that they take up a permanent location on your landscape, and once they're mined out, they can't do anything else, but in doing so, they get you a good amount of resources. These guys are getting us a pretty hefty amount of stone, actually. Building these stockpiles here seems to be a pretty good idea. We were only getting about 80 stone a season prior to having these stockpiles here, and now we get about 137, which is about 50 more, which is a pretty big change. So that's working out pretty well for us. It turns out that's a good idea. I wasn't sure if it was worth it, but it looks like it most certainly is. So, that is good to know. Now, one thing else I wanted to check is our sheep over here. We're already almost at a maximum sheep, so that's pretty good. The main reason I want to be at maximum sheep with 2 farms is that'll give us much more wool, so we can actually afford to have 2 tailors working on warm coats all the time. I'm not sure if they'll run out of wool or out of leather first, but we have a lot of leather in our backlog, so I doubt leather is going to be a limiting factor for at least some time. I'm not sure how fast we actually get leather, though, so that might become a problem. We'll have to wait and see. We are getting into yet another winter, though, so eventually we're going to have some problems with that, but for now we're just going to keep going. Our tailor's finished, so we're going to accomplish another person into that task. If I accomplish another person, I mean put another person with that job. Words are not always the things that happen when you want them to. Our giant cemetery is very slowly filling up. Our quarries are very quickly mining away, which is wonderful. The resources, man, the resources. I would like to build up over here at some point, but I think before we try that, we're going to need to set up some other settlements around. Like, I think at some point it might be a good idea for us to put a settlement over here in this area, because that way there's like a midway point for anybody trying to make the journey all the way around this way, and I think that might make it a little bit easier for them to not die. That, or to build like bridges all the way across here. Big giant X intersection across our lake. It's not the most picturesque place to put a bridge, but at least it might reduce the number of deaths we have to deal with. I'm not sure. Either way, we have a lot of constructions underway here. There goes 4 more pastures. I might split more sheep into them, put some cows in them, put some chickens. I don't know yet. I have a feeling that we won't be able to do too much with sheep and whatnot, but we can always experiment and find out. We can always experiment and find out. I like this place, though. There's some nice, those stained glass windows? They look like they should be, but they don't look like they're actually colorful in any way. Oh no, there's some colors in there. They're just very muted. Got some stained glass windows. That's good. Which is especially good, given they made that in place entirely out of stone, iron, and wood. Alright, with somebody here in our trader, let's go check what they want. They're offering us food, many different kinds of food. Unfortunately for them, they don't know we already have 24,000 food in our supplies, and we don't seem to be actually decreasing that number in any way. So really, food is not what you want to try to be selling us right now. Nice try, though. And surprisingly enough, our population isn't really growing like I thought it would. I thought adding all those homes in would give us a pretty hefty boost, but I guess not yet. Guess not yet. We could put another row of houses in, which is a big use of our stone again, and we'll use up most of our remaining iron. But I think that's a good idea, because we're still producing massive excesses of food. So really, having a bigger civilization is what that allows us to do, so we might as well take advantage of it and build more homes. The quicker we can take advantage of our population, the more we'll be able to do with new population, and that's pretty key. Let's put another builder in there. But yeah, being able to have have access to more stuff like that would be very nice. Let's turn this into another chicken pasture. Get somebody to work in there and split our chickens. There we go, so we can get even more chicken. These ones, I'm not sure what I want, if I want to put chickens or bigger animals in there. We'll have to experiment with it and see once they're finished. But overall, this is still looking pretty good. Still looking pretty good. I just want to have our population really grow up nicely. We've got kind of 3 suburbs going on right now. We've got like a major original town area here. We have a nice farming suburb over here, which is basically just farms. That's all they've got. And we have another suburb over here, which is like another... This is more like a real suburb. It has utility areas, it's got its own church, it's got a market in it, all these nice things. Somebody died from being crushed by a rock, which is sad, but there's nothing we can do about that. And it's suddenly spring. And the snow gets very confused for a little bit, but then it goes away again. Awesome. Awesome. So these need to get built. They're just waiting on builders to actually accomplish them, so that's fine. How about the roads? Looks like the roads got mostly cleaned up. Not all of the new roads are built, but that looks nice, I think. You can hardly really tell that I changed it at all, partially because there's a bazillion trees there anyway. But, yeah, I don't think that's too bad. We got some houses going up over here as well. They need a little bit more iron to be completed, a bit more stone to be completed, but that shouldn't take too long to gather that. And then I think we're going to hold on to the remainder of our stone so we can build ourselves a mine, because we're going to need one. Running out of iron means you eventually run out of tools, especially if you're running things like stone cutters and mines for a long time. And that is bad, especially if your blacksmith doesn't have a tool. If your blacksmith doesn't have a tool, then you can't make more tools because your blacksmith doesn't have a tool, so you can't make more tools, and it goes on like that until you cry a little inside. So hopefully that won't be an issue for us, and we'll be able to just build on here in eternal happiness. 75% remaining. So we've been here carving away at this rock for a while, and there's still a good amount left in it. It's good to know. Very nice to know. Alright. Look at the reflections here in the water, too. Clouds look nice. Alright, well, we have 4 open pastures in here. We can put some people to work if we want. I'm not sure if I immediately want to do that, though. I think I'm going to wait till we get a couple more laborers aged up. I want to still have some people free to go and do the work that needs to get done around here. If we tie everyone up with actual jobs, it's going to mean that anything we want to do goes very, very slowly. Any constructions we want to do, getting the resources there is an incredibly slow process, all that kind of thing. Right now, though, it's looking pretty good. We're going to get all these buildings done. We have a little bit of iron to spare. It's going to take 6 more to finish this, which means we're not going to have a whole lot left, but we do have some iron to hopefully last us to keep making tools, although our tools do seem to be dropping still. It looks like I'm going to have to build more blacksmiths if I intend on increasing the amount of mining work that gets done over here. Not that that's particularly surprising, because mining is very tool-intensive, but still. We're very low on iron now, which is something we expected to have happen, so that's fine. These houses are all being constructed, so that's good. And now we just literally need to wait a little bit until we can get the resources needed to build our mine, which is 68 stone, but that's only 30 more than we have right now, so I'm not too worried. Not too worried. I think... Hang on. No, okay. That's somebody who like, walked in here and then turned into a cross. I was pretty sure that wasn't how death worked, but whatever. Apparently that's not what happens. I'm just insane. Hang on a second. This cemetery was more full before. Did people, like, despawn from the cemetery? Or, like, move to the other cemetery? That's really weird. That's really weird. Alright, I don't know if I'm okay with that, but whatever. That's really weird. Whatever, we have ourselves a good amount of wool production now. We're getting, what's that, 84 a year? That's pretty nice. We could split it again into these new pastures and get even more. I'm not sure if we'd be able to split that further, though, or if they'd be stuck then. So I think you have to have more than 10 animals in a pasture before you can split it. So if that doesn't fit 10, then that's going to be annoying. And it is a good deal smaller than the ones we're currently using. Looks like our tailors are doing just fine, though. They don't seem to be having any problems keeping up with the demand. I'd love to get steel tools going, but those take coal as well, and coal has its own problems. Like the fact that in order to be able to get coal, you have to have a mine dedicated to it, and people use coal instead of firewood. So they just burn it all the time. You have to have a huge excess to be able to start making steel tools, otherwise it just doesn't last. We have 1,000 herbs, holy cow. I guess we'll just leave our herb limit at 1,000 then. I don't think we actually need any more than that. We've had a whole bunch of people die, mostly of old age it looks like. Entirely of old age it looks like. There's a whole bunch of them, wow. Well, that's gonna happen. As our population ages, we're gonna have more deaths like that, but it's never fun when it starts destroying your population. But that's why we build these giant cemeteries outside our churches, so that we can accommodate what happens when our population just all keel over. We're down only 2 laborers left. Thankfully, we don't need the builders anymore, because all these homes are finished. So we should get a whole bunch more children born, which is basically what we're looking to have happen. So they should replenish our population pretty quickly. I'm not too worried about anything like that, but yeah, it is a bit disappointing to see your population drop in giant spurts like that. 150 members in that church. How many are in total now? 217 still? Okay, so our Ziomirandi, that is quite the name. Our population has been pretty stable for the last little while, and that's fine. We're increasing our number of children pretty dramatically, but our population itself is pretty stable, which is fine, because like I mentioned earlier, people are going to die of old age eventually no matter what. You might as well have them be replaced when they do, rather than not replaced at all. I'm surprised, though, that our population is so happy and healthy now. That's something you don't normally see. Our health and happiness are both pretty incredibly high. It'd be nice if you could see like what exactly the numbers were by hovering over them or something, but that's pretty cool. What do we do if we look at like a longer span of time? Education did a huge drop and then came back up, and it's doing pretty good now. Pretty sure every time we take in nomads it drops, but nomads, you might get some of them who are educated, I don't know. Not sure how that works. Either way, it's looking pretty good here, and overall things are going well. We have capped out in a bunch of resources, like herbs and, you know, firewood and food a couple times, but I am not bothered at all by expanding our capacity for those things. Now this looks like the minimum size for a cow pasture to actually be able to split it. So having these smaller ones used for cows doesn't seem like it's a very good idea. We could potentially put sheep and chickens in them. So let's try doing a sheep farm. We'll put one person in there. Oh, it only has 9. That is unfortunate. It's a little bit too small for them. If we put chickens, get a bazillion chickens. I don't know. Let's just stop it for now, and we'll see what we're going to do with those. I might just expand the space again, because we can make them too large. We can make them all one larger, which might mean that they're big enough to accommodate the sheep properly. I'd have to replace them all, but still. Oh, another person died during childbirth. Oh no. And our storage is almost full because all of our markets are overloaded with the massive overload of food we'll be getting. We need to get a whole bunch more children here so we can actually eat this food faster. Either that or maybe stop some production. That seems silly to me. Why would we stop production of something that's so beneficial to us to have lots of it? Just don't make sense, you know? So, I think we might as well try it. It's not like destroying this and then rebuilding it is a massive inconvenience. It just takes some time. Although I don't think I can actually build around this corner because there's that hill there. So that might be something that slows us down. Can I build here? I don't think I can. Looks like it doesn't care. It might prevent me from building pasture there, though. If we try to build pasture here, does it care? Yes, it does. But it doesn't seem to bother the actual area we're looking for, so that's good. Just that area is blocked. Is that area also blocked for roads? It is, but the edges are not. Huh. Interesting. So we can actually expand this quite safely. Let's see if it'll accept it a little bit larger. He's selling coal, iron tools, logs, and ale. We have actually a pretty good amount of ale, which is surprising. Much more old age deaths. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Herdsman and farmer have died. We have no free laborers to replace them. I wonder how many other people have died with nobody to replace them. Farmer... whole bunch. I'm going to have to go back and fix that manually in a second. But before that, we're going to potentially... oh, we can't trade herbs. That's unfortunate. Trade for some coal is what I was going to say there. But I don't know if that's actually very beneficial to us because of the fact that it just gets used up immediately. So we want to try and reorganize things a little bit differently instead. What's going on here? Why is nobody working this farm? Oh, somebody died, right. Right! That was the thing that just happened. So, let's take down our foresters by a little bit. We can afford to temporarily have fewer of them in order to replace things that have been lost. There we go. Is anybody else missing? Our physician is not filled, but that was that already. Everyone else looks fine. We only have one free laborer, but we're still fine. Alright. Once our population grows up, that'll be good. But I think we are going to destroy all this again and try and rebuild it again. Because if we can get up, like I said, up to 10 for sheep, we'll be able to keep growing our sheep even further. So, we need the remove structures tool for that. We need the remove roads tool for that. Very nice. Very nice. And let's just remove some of that road too. There we go. We're only going to expand them very slightly, but I might as well clear it out properly. Actually, you know what? If we're growing it up even larger, this is all going to need to come out, I think. Because the roads are going to need to be replaced in a different location. These guys must hate me. These roads are not staying for very long. Their lifespan is pretty short. Also, it looks like laborers remove roads, not builders. That's something cool. The removal task doesn't look like it's actually a builder thing. I kind of assumed it was. Looks like I'm incorrect, though, because we have no builders and the things are coming down. I guess all our farmers are hard at work. Huh. We have enough for a mine now, but we don't really have enough people to work a mine. We would have enough if we took people out of our farming jobs and whatnot, but for now I'm kind of happy to have them in there. Even if it is pushing our storage to maximum. Pushing it to the breaking point, as you might say. At least we have enough to build ourselves our mine, though, and that will give us at least the option of doing more if we want. It's going to take them a while to clear out all this stuff, but thankfully there's no storage in there. It does just take builder tasks. So if we assign some builders, that'll get done pretty quick. I think we'll reduce our fishermen by a set so we can have some extra builders so they can actually do these jobs. That would be good. It's not like we immediately need the fishing since we do have a good amount of food already. They can afford to take a little bit of a hit there. We are really capping out our storage, though. I should definitely consider building more storage space if I can afford it. Which I kind of can't right now, but I'm sure we will be able to if we really made an effort. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess at this point, I want to redesign this area and see if we can fit that in so it actually works for our sheep. And put some chickens in there too, because why not? What are you doing? Hang on a second. That's not how you wheelbarrow. He's carrying a wheelbarrow. Like it's something you put in your hand. What are you doing? Well, I guess she was returning her friend's wheelbarrow. And we're out of so many old people. Our population is dying. I think we have like the same number of people total, yeah, but our old population is ticking down quite rapidly, which is not so cool. We're losing farmers and all kinds of jobs we really want to have people in. The cleric, oh, one of our priests died. That's not good. It's not good at all. All right, well, we're gonna have to replace them. So let's take somebody out of stone cutting to put them into the clerical posts. Hang on. Oh, did the other cleric just die of old age? No, what just happened there? That's weird. I could swear I just replaced our cleric. But I don't... he just disappeared. Unless the person I replaced him with died as immediately when I put him in the job? I'm not sure what happened there. Another farmer in. We can afford to reduce our stonecutters a little. It's not ideal, but we need to have some free workers. We have a good amount of stone in stockpile right now, so I think it's probably in our best interest to reduce our stonecutters a little to make sure we have people in other jobs. So we'll do that and see if that actually helps us much. More people in buildings, we can remove these farms in a hurry, pastures in a hurry rather. And then build them again, because why not? I wonder if we get the resources back. I don't see any on the ground there. Just some mutton. I I hope we do. It'd be kind of disappointing if we don't get the resources back. I should also really build another market somewhere. Do markets take iron? I don't think so. Oh, they do. They take 40 iron. So we can't build another market. We even build a barn. We could build a barn if we wanted, but that's not a huge amount of storage space anyway. Well, for now, I guess that's just going to have to do. Storage is going to be near capacity. What are we out of? Oh, out of iron. Right. That's actually a problem, because that means our tools are going to keep getting depleted by the miners and whatnot. And that will be... that will eventually cause a problem if we don't stop it before it gets out of hand. Alright, well in that case, what we're going to do to end this episode off more or less is we're going to build ourselves our first mine, because we need one pretty badly now. So, let's swing it around this way. Put our first mine in behind the quarry, I think. Put it in right over there. I'm not sure exactly how I want to arrange all these things together, but I kind of want to take advantage of this long wall here, because you can put a lot of mines in a space like this. Obviously not on the bump there, but in the nice flat part there, you can get a lot of mines in a small area. And this is the mining district, so we might as well take advantage of it. Let's stick our first mine in there. It's going to take them a while to actually build it, but when it gets built, it'll be pretty useful. Alright, and we'll expand also with our orchards, or rather our pastures. If we do 13 by 13 this time. 13 by 13. 13 by 13, good. Perfect, and... come on now. There we go. Those should be nicely sized. And now if we add some roads around there, that'll make it look nice. Just come up this way. Perfect. Perfect. And we can send this over to the side as well. Is there anything actually there? Nope, we can just add an extra little piece of road. That is an interesting looking design. Either way, it is done, so that will be fine. Once it gets completed, we can put some sheep and whatnot in there, and that'll be great. Okay. People are doing a good job removing the trees here already as well, so we'll get our mines going eventually, get ourselves some iron production. It's going to take a long time for all these kids to grow up, but once they do, we'll finally be able to put them to work. Oh yes, children. You have a bright future ahead of you in the mines. Of course, it's just the miner in front of you's headlamp, but it's still a bright future, is it not? Alright, storage goods are still near capacity, but not much we can do about that. All these things are just full. Jeez. Well, we're not going to let that stop us. We're going to lose a lot of each harvest because we don't have anywhere to put it, but like I just said, we're not going to let that stop us. There's the finished pasture. If we make this sheep now, does it fit 10? It does fit 10. Fantastic. Alright, so let's have somebody working this farm. There we go. And let's split that. Perfect. Looks like that means 13 by 13 might be the ideal size of a farm for sheep, because you can have 10 in it, which is a splittable size farm, with only one worker. And I assume that one worker can actually deal with the number of things that need to get done pretty nicely. Huh. Either way, things are looking good. We do need to get our iron production going, though. Our tools are slowly dropping. Still faster than I'd like, though. Need more laborers, so we actually have some people free to move these goods to where they need to be. But I think this is probably where we're going to wind up ending this episode, with a lot of surpluses in some materials and very, very large deficits in others. That's our other blacksmith, right? So they can't make any tools because we have no iron yet. Once we get that mine up and running, we're probably going to need another blacksmith for sure, because otherwise we will be burning through our tools faster than we use them. Even though that does take up more of our iron, I think it's probably going to be necessary in the long run to just make sure that we don't wind up dead. Iron is something that winds up being used pretty scarcely anyway, so I don't think we're going to run the risk of having any, like, massive draws on our iron resources and then not being able to do anything. So I'm not too concerned on that front. I think this is looking pretty good, though. We're just waiting for this mine to actually be finished. We're just waiting on builders now, so that's good. And we're waiting on the rest of these pastures to be finished so we can fill them with chickens. Alright, let's make this one a chicken pasture. Chickens. One worker. And... what? Someone just died? 2 workers? That's weird. What do we need 11 workers? I guess it's because that's how many we have now. We have 12. What? That pasture can have more... Is that right? No. I must have clicked the wrong button there. That's what happened, I think. That's weird. Alright, well, we're going to split the chickens into here. Split some. There we go. We have 8 chickens there. I wonder, can I split as well from another one of these locations? If I split here... That's only 8. If I split again, they do go into that one. Interesting. Okay. So you can move your chickens around a lot like that. Either way, we're going to end this episode here, like I said. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. This is Vanguard of Valor here in the town of Xanadu here in Banished, as we get our infrastructure ready to deal with more permanent, or semi-permanent, resource solutions. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.